Did you know that 73% of people who want to make major career changes never do it? And the number one reason isn't financial fear, lack of opportunity, or even uncertainty about their abilities. It's the fear of disappointing their family. Whether you're sitting in a corporate cubicle dreaming of the open road, you're a company driver ready to buy your first truck, or you've been running these highways for 20 years and want to start your own fleet, the biggest obstacle isn't the DOT physical, the CDL test, or even finding the right financing. It's walking into your kitchen, sitting down with the people you love most, and saying the words that will change everything. I've made a decision about my career and I need you to hear me out. But here's what most people don't understand about family resistance to career changes. The resistance isn't really about your decision. It's about their fear of losing security, their concern for your well-being, and their own unexamined assumptions about what constitutes success and respectability. Your family members aren't trying to hold you back because they don't believe in you. They're trying to protect you from what they perceive as unnecessary risk, and they're projecting their own fears and limitations onto your situation. Marcus Aurelius faced this exact challenge when he decided to spend years on the battlefield instead of ruling from the comfort of his palace in Rome. His advisors, his family, his closest friends all told him he was making a mistake, that emperors don't sleep in tents with common soldiers, that he was risking his health and his empire for abstract principles. But Marcus understood something that most people never learn. The people who love you most are often the least qualified to advise you on your biggest decisions, because their advice is filtered through their own fears, their own limitations, and their own ideas about what your life should look like. He wrote in his personal journal how much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does, but only to what he does himself. This isn't about ignoring your family or making decisions in isolation. It's about understanding that ultimate responsibility for your life rests with you, and that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for your family is to pursue the path that aligns with your values, even when they don't initially understand or support your choice. In the next 18 minutes, you'll discover the exact framework that Marcus Aurelius used to make difficult decisions, despite opposition from everyone around him. And I'm going to show you how to apply these principles, whether you're telling your family you want to leave corporate America for trucking, you want to transition from company driver to owner-operator, or you're ready to expand your existing operation despite their concerns about the risks involved. We'll explore the 4 pillars of Stoic communication, a systematic approach that transforms family resistance into family support by addressing their underlying concerns while maintaining your commitment to your chosen path. You'll learn the preemptive objection strategy that anticipates every argument your family will raise and prepares you with thoughtful, respectful responses. We'll cover the evidence-based presentation method that shows your family you're not making an emotional decision, but a calculated choice based on research and planning. You'll discover the values alignment technique that helps your family understand how your decision actually serves the values you share. We'll dive deep into the gradual revelation process that introduces your plans in stages, giving your family time to adjust their thinking without feeling blindsided. You'll get specific scripts for the most common family objections, whether you're dealing with parents who think trucking is beneath your education level, a spouse who's worried about financial security, or adult children who don't understand why you'd leave a steady job. By the end of this episode, you'll have a complete communication strategy that not only gets your family on board with your decision, but actually strengthens your relationships by demonstrating the depth of your commitment and the thoughtfulness of your planning. More importantly, you'll understand that gaining family support isn't about convincing them to share your vision. It's about helping them trust your judgment and respect your right to make decisions about your own life. Let me tell you about Maria Santos from Sacramento, because her story illustrates the challenge that every trucker faces when family expectations collide with personal calling. Maria was a 32-year-old software engineer making $110,000 annually at a prestigious tech company, with stock options, comprehensive benefits, and a clear path to senior management. But Maria spent her days debugging code that felt meaningless, attending meetings that accomplished nothing, and staring out her office window at the highway, watching 18-wheelers roll past, while she felt increasingly disconnected from any sense of purpose or authenticity. She'd grown up helping her father, who worked as a mechanic, and she'd always been drawn to work that produced tangible results. that solved real problems, that connected her to the physical world in ways that pushing pixels on a screen never could. Maria knew she wanted to pursue trucking, specifically specializing in the transportation of agricultural products from California's Central Valley to markets across the country. But she also knew that telling her parents would be one of the most difficult conversations of her life, because in their minds, she was abandoning everything they'd worked to achieve. Her father had spent 30 years fixing other people's trucks, so his daughter wouldn't have to work with her hands. Her mother had cleaned office buildings at night so Maria could afford college and avoid the uncertainty of blue-collar work. They'd immigrated to this country with the dream that their children would have white-collar careers, steady paychecks, and the kind of security they'd never known. The idea that Maria would voluntarily leave her engineering career to become a truck driver seemed like a betrayal of their sacrifices, a rejection of their values, and a dangerous step backward into the uncertainty they'd spent their lives trying to escape. This tension between family expectations and personal calling creates the exact emotional battlefield where most people surrender their dreams rather than face the difficult conversations required to pursue them. This scenario plays out in thousands of households every year. According to recent surveys, 68% of people who want to make major career changes report that family disapproval is their primary obstacle, more significant than financial concerns, industry uncertainty, or lack of opportunity. The American Psychological Association found that family pressure influences career decisions for 81% of adults, often keeping people in jobs that don't align with their values or utilize their strengths. But here's what makes this particularly challenging in blue-collar transitions. Our society has created a hierarchy of work that places office jobs above trade jobs, regardless of earning potential, job satisfaction, or societal contribution. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that owner-operators in specialized trucking earn more than 73% of college graduates, have better job security than most office workers, and report higher satisfaction rates than professionals in traditional careers. But this information rarely influences family opinions because their concerns aren't really about money or job satisfaction. They're about status, perceived security, and their own unexamined beliefs about what constitutes respectable work. When experienced drivers want to become owner-operators, they face similar resistance but for different reasons. Their families worry about the financial risks, the increased responsibility, and the possibility of failure. They see company driving as stable and predictable, while owner-operator status represents uncertainty and potential loss. The challenge isn't just convincing your family that your decision is right. It's helping them understand that their definition of security and success might be outdated, and that their attempts to protect you from risk might actually be protecting you from opportunity. Most people approach these conversations emotionally, either getting defensive when their family raises objections or compromising their vision to avoid conflict. But Marcus Aurelius understood that successful communication about important decisions requires philosophical preparation, strategic thinking, and unwavering commitment to your principles while respecting the concerns of people who love you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy," but he also understood that sometimes the people who oppose your decisions aren't enemies. They're allies who are temporarily operating from fear rather than understanding. When Marcus decided to spend years on the battlefield leading his troops personally, instead of ruling from Rome, he faced intense opposition from senators, advisors, and family members who thought he was abandoning his responsibilities as emperor. But Marcus had a framework for handling this opposition that we can apply to our own family communications. He called it the discipline of assent, which means carefully examining every opinion, objection, and piece of advice to determine what's based on wisdom and what's based on fear, habit, or misunderstanding. This same principle applies perfectly to modern trucking career decisions, and nowhere is it better illustrated than in the story of Omar Singh, founder and president of Surge Transportation. Singh represents perhaps the most compelling example of Stoic courage and perseverance in modern trucking. A former teacher who became a trucker to pay for college, Singh embodies the fighter's spirit that Marcus Aurelius would recognize. He first operated a trucking company from 2003 to 2010, then founded Surge Transportation in 2016, building it to a remarkable $300 million run rate by 2021. When the freight recession hit and his company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in July 2023, Singh refused to quit. Drawing inspiration from Rocky Balboa's relentless determination, he rallied his team and successfully emerged from bankruptcy by July 2024. In his FreightWaves Insiders podcast interview and the Freight Pod episode, Singh speaks candidly about losing friendships during the crisis. "I feel like I lost a lot of friends. They're my people and the people who you work with." His story demonstrates the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control while accepting external circumstances with grace. When your family objects to your trucking career, they're not necessarily wrong about the challenges you'll face. They're wrong about your ability to handle those challenges and succeed despite them, just as Singh's doubters were wrong about his ability to rebuild after bankruptcy. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Singh's story proves this principle in action. He couldn't control the freight recession, but he could control his response to it, his commitment to his team, and his determination to rebuild. Here's the 4 pillars of Stoic communication that Marcus used to handle opposition and build support for difficult decisions, adapted specifically for trucking career conversations and proven by leaders like Omar Singh who faced similar challenges. The first pillar is preparation through anticipation. Before you have any conversation with your family about your career plans, you need to anticipate every objection they might raise and prepare thoughtful responses that demonstrate you've considered their concerns seriously. For each anticipated objection, prepare a 3-part response: acknowledgement of their concern, evidence that you've researched the issue thoroughly, and your specific plan for addressing the challenge. For example, if they worry about income variability, you might say, "I understand your concern about inconsistent income, and that's why I've researched average earnings for drivers in my specialization, created a detailed budget that accounts for seasonal variations, and built an emergency fund that covers 6 months of expenses." The second pillar is evidence-based presentation. Your family needs to see that your decision is based on research and planning, not emotion or fantasy. Prepare a comprehensive presentation that includes industry salary data, job market analysis, your specific career plan with timelines and milestones, financial projections, and risk mitigation strategies. The third pillar is values alignment communication. Help your family understand that your career decision actually serves the values you share, even if the specific path is different from what they expected. If they value financial security, show them how trucking can provide better long-term earning potential than your current career. If they value independence and entrepreneurship, explain how owner-operator status allows you to build equity and control your own destiny. The fourth pillar is gradual revelation and involvement. Don't blindside your family with sudden announcements. Instead, introduce your plans gradually, giving them time to adjust their thinking and ask questions. Start by sharing your dissatisfaction with your current situation. Then discuss your research into alternatives. Then present your specific plan, and finally ask for their input and support. Let me show you how these pillars work in practice with 2 powerful examples. First, there's David Chen from Portland, a 28-year-old marketing manager who wanted to leave his corporate job to become a long-haul trucker. David's parents were both college professors, who initially viewed his interest in trucking as a quarter-life crisis rather than a serious career decision. David used the 4 pillars systematically over 6 months. He anticipated their concerns about education and career prestige, prepared responses showing that modern trucking requires continuous learning and that his marketing background would give him advantages in building customer relationships. He created a detailed business plan showing projected earnings and career progression from company driver to owner-operator. He connected his decision to values they shared: independence, hard work, and service to others. He gradually introduced the idea by first sharing his dissatisfaction with corporate culture, then discussing his research, then presenting his specific plan. Today, David is a successful owner-operator, earning $95,000 annually, and his parents regularly share stories about his career with their academic colleagues. Second, there's Jennifer Rodriguez from Dallas, a 35-year-old company driver who wanted to buy her first truck and become an owner-operator. Jennifer's husband worried about the financial risks, especially with 2 young children and a mortgage. He was comfortable with her steady company job, but feared that owner-operator status would jeopardize their family's security. Jennifer used the 4 pillars systematically. She anticipated his worries about debt, variable income, and increased responsibility. She prepared detailed financial projections, showing how owner-operator status would actually improve their long-term financial security by building equity and increasing earning potential. She connected her decision to their shared values of building wealth for their children's future and creating a family business. She involved him in the decision-making process by asking him to review her business plan and provide input on equipment selection and financing options. Today, Jennifer runs a successful 3-truck operation, and her husband handles the administrative side of the business. The deeper philosophical principle behind successful family communication is what Marcus called the discipline of desire, which means aligning your wants with your values while respecting the concerns of others. Most people approach family conversations about career changes by trying to convince their family members to share their vision. But this approach fails because it assumes that other people should want what you want for the same reasons you want it. Instead, Marcus teaches us to focus on what we can control: our own preparation, our own communication, our own commitment to our chosen path, while accepting that others may need time to understand and support our decisions. Marcus wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Your family's objections aren't obstacles to overcome. They're opportunities to demonstrate the depth of your commitment and the thoughtfulness of your planning. When they raise concerns about financial security, you can show them your detailed budget and emergency fund. When they worry about safety, you can share your research about modern trucking safety standards and your commitment to professional development. When they question your decision-making, you can demonstrate the industry relationships, professional knowledge, and practical skills that inform your choice. Marcus also understood that courage is contagious. When you demonstrate unwavering commitment to your authentic path, while respecting the concerns of people who love you, you inspire them to reconsider their own assumptions about risk, security, and success. Omar Singh's story illustrates this perfectly. While he lost some friendships during his company's bankruptcy, his authentic commitment to his values and his team ultimately earned him the respect and support needed to rebuild successfully. Your family's respect isn't earned through avoiding challenges. It's earned through facing challenges with preparation, integrity, and unwavering commitment to your principles. Maria's story demonstrates how the 4 pillars can transform even the most challenging family dynamics. Maria spent 3 months preparing for her conversation with her parents, using all 4 pillars systematically. She anticipated their concerns about abandoning her education, reducing her income, and working in what they perceived as a less prestigious field. She prepared responses showing that modern trucking requires continuous learning and professional development, that successful owner-operators earn more than most engineers, and that her technical background would give her advantages in managing modern truck systems and optimizing routes. She created a comprehensive business plan showing projected earnings, career progression from company driver to owner-operator to fleet owner, and long-term wealth-building potential. She connected her decision to values she shared with her parents: hard work, service to others, and building something meaningful. She explained how transporting agricultural products would allow her to serve the farming communities where she'd grown up, and how her technical skills would help her optimize operations and serve customers better. She didn't announce her decision suddenly. Instead, she spent 6 months gradually introducing the idea. She started by sharing her dissatisfaction with software engineering, then began talking about her research into different career options, including trucking. She invited her parents to visit truck stops with her, to meet drivers, and to see the professionalism and skill required in modern trucking. Finally, she presented her specific plan and asked for their input and support. The process took time, but it worked. Today, Maria runs a successful agricultural transport operation, and her parents regularly share stories about her success with their friends and family. Her approach mirrors the same patience and strategic thinking that Omar Singh demonstrated when rebuilding his company. Understanding that lasting success comes from methodical preparation and consistent action, not from rushing into decisions or trying to force immediate acceptance from others. Your actionable takeaways for this week focus on preparation and strategic communication. First, conduct a comprehensive family objection analysis. Write down every concern your family members are likely to raise about your career decision, then prepare a three-part response for each objection. Acknowledgement of their concern, evidence that you've researched the issue thoroughly, and your specific plan for addressing the challenge. Second, create your evidence portfolio. Gather industry salary data, job market analysis, testimonials from successful drivers, and any other documentation that supports your decision. Third, identify your values alignment points. Make a list of values you share with your family members, then write a brief explanation of how your career decision actually serves those values. Fourth, develop your gradual revelation timeline. Plan a series of conversations over several weeks or months that gradually introduce your plans rather than blindsiding your family with sudden announcements. Fifth, practice your presentation with a trusted friend or mentor who can provide feedback and help you refine your approach. Remember that Omar Singh's success came not from avoiding difficult conversations, but from facing them with preparation, honesty, and unwavering commitment to his vision. Remember that gaining family support is a process, not a single conversation. Be patient with their concerns, consistent in your communication, and unwavering in your commitment to your chosen path. Next week, we'll explore how to apply Marcus Aurelius's discipline of perception to the CDL training process, turning every challenge and setback into an opportunity for growth and skill development. We'll dive deep into how Stoic philosophy can help you master not just the technical skills of trucking, but the mental resilience and professional mindset that separate successful drivers from those who struggle. Here's your 7-day family communication challenge, designed to move you from preparation to action. For the next 7 days, I want you to practice what Marcus called the daily discipline of reflection. Each morning, spend 15 minutes writing in a journal about your career decision, your family's potential concerns, and your responses to those concerns. Day 1. Write down your 3 strongest reasons for your career decision and how each one aligns with your core values. Day 2. List every objection your family might raise and rank them from most to least concerning. Day 3. Research and write one detailed response to their most significant concern, including specific evidence and your mitigation strategy. Day 4. Identify one family member who might be your ally in these conversations and plan how to approach them first. Day 5. Write out the opening statement for your family conversation, focusing on values alignment and respect for their concerns. Day 6. Create a timeline for your gradual revelation process, breaking your announcement into manageable conversations over several weeks. Day 7. Write a letter to yourself describing why this decision is important to you and how it will improve your life. Then read it aloud to build conviction. Additionally, I want you to have at least one practice conversation with someone outside your family where you present your career decision and ask for their honest feedback. Most importantly, remember that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the presence of fear. Omar Singh faced losing everything when his company went bankrupt, but he didn't let fear paralyze him. Instead, he used it as fuel to rebuild stronger than before. Your family's concerns come from love, but your life belongs to you. If this episode gave you a framework for communicating with your family or partner about your career decisions, if it helped you understand that resistance is often based on fear rather than wisdom, if it showed you how to demonstrate respect for others while staying true to your own path, then subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. We're building something special here, a community of people who understand that meaningful work requires courage, that family support is earned through preparation and communication, and that the most loving thing you can do for the people you care about is to become the person you were meant to be. Drop a comment and tell me about your family communication challenge. Are you worried about disappointing parents who sacrificed for your education? Is your spouse concerned about financial security? Are your children questioning why you'd leave a stable job? Whatever your situation, share it with the community. Remember Omar Singh's words about losing friends during his crisis. Sometimes the people we think will support us don't, but that doesn't mean we should abandon our authentic path. The highway is calling. Your family's love is constant, even when their understanding is limited. And the courage to live authentically is the greatest gift you can give to everyone who cares about you. Stop waiting for permission to pursue your calling. Start building the communication skills and family support that will make your transition successful. Your future self is counting on the courage you demonstrate today. Thanks for staying with us, and see you in the next episode.